Welcome. Today, we are going deep, deep into some really fascinating mythological territory. I want you to imagine you're standing at a profound crossroads. But this isn't a physical place, it's deep inside your own mind. Our guide on this journey is the goddess Hecate, and the choice we're facing is huge. A choice between staying frozen in place or pushing forward into something new. Okay, so our journey starts in what our source material calls a lightless theater. Now, don't think of this as a real place. Think of it more as a state of mind. You know, that moment of crisis, or that deep, existential feeling where you're just completely lost. It's right there, in that darkness, that every single one of us has to decide, how are we going to respond to the emptiness, to the void?
And this, right here, is the core question of everything we're talking about today. When you're faced with that overwhelming emptiness, do you just freeze up, or do you find some way to navigate through it? It's really a choice between two very different survival strategies. You can choose petrification, which offers a kind of safety in just stopping. Or you can choose transformation, which promises growth, but you have to go through the challenge.
So let's really break down these two opposing paths, because to understand the choice, you first have to understand the forces that are presenting it to you. First things first, let's get a clearer picture of this abyss. The slide calls it a temple of the liminal mind. What does that even mean? Well, think of it like a massive identity crisis. The absolute I is your sense of self, right? It's everything you are. The non-I is that terrifying idea that all of that could just be erased, that you could become nothing. It's you staring into the face of meaninglessness. And in this psychic battleground, two powerful forces show up. And interestingly, they're both trinities. On one side, you have the three who warn. And they offer a very specific and, frankly, a very scary solution. And on the other side, you have the triple one who leads. That's Hecate. And she offers a completely different way to survive. Let's look at that first option, the one that tries to tempt us with the promise of safety. This is the path offered by the three who warn. You might know them better as the Gorgon sisters. And their path is all about stasis, about paralysis. So the Gorgons' philosophy is deceptively simple. To get away from all the chaos and pain of the abyss, all you have to do is stop moving. They represent what's called final entropy, the idea that everything eventually just runs out of energy and stops. So their offer is this: if you let yourself be turned to stone, nothing can ever hurt you again. It's a total surrender, a final stop to any future growth, and you get it all in exchange for an end to your pain. And this quote, wow, it frames their offer in such a fascinating way. It's not presented as evil, but as this really twisted kind of protection, a protective cage. The idea is they'll freeze you solid so that the world can no longer break you. It is the ultimate promise of safety, but the cost? Well, the cost is everything. But that is not the only option. Now we turn to the other path, the path of active navigation. And this is the way offered by the triple one who leads, the goddess Hecate. See, where the Gorgons offer to end your journey, Hecate gives you the tools to keep going. She doesn't promise to take away the darkness. Instead, she shows you how to move through it with a purpose. She is the literal spiritual counterweight to the hopelessness of the abyss. This slide really just lays it all out in black and white, doesn't it? On one side, you have the Gorgon steel, final entropy, the end of everything, being turned to stone. And on the other, Hecate's path, restorative hope, the potential for transformation. It's the ultimate choice, really, between a static, safe ending and a dynamic, possibly painful, but truly meaningful journey. So, okay, if we choose Hecate's path, how do we actually do it? What are the tools she gives us to find our way through all that darkness? Well, that's what this next part is all about, her very specific kind of magic. Her main tool is something called logos magic. Now, don't think of wands and spells. It's much more like a fundamental shift in how you see things. Logos is a Greek word. It can mean word or reason. So this is the magic of applying structure and meaning to the absolute meaningless chaos of the void. It's like learning the language of the abyss so you can not only survive in it, but actually learn from it. And here's how that process works. By applying this special insight, this logos, a seeker can do something incredible. They can metaphorically fold the fabric of reality. What that does is it allows them to see these hidden pathways, these connections that are totally invisible to a mind that's just running on fear or cold logic. It's about lighting up a path where just a second ago, there was nothing but darkness. And the source of that light, the tools that make this whole journey even possible, are her most famous symbols, Hecat's two torches. They are the ultimate navigators of the abyss. Now, these are not just any old torches. The source material says they burn with a really unique transformative power called palingenesis energy. It's a mouthful, I know, but palingenesis basically just means rebirth or regeneration. So this is the fire of renewal. So what does the energy of rebirth actually do in a place that's defined by decay? Well, as you can see, it's a direct counterattack. It doesn't just push the darkness back. It actively purifies the hopelessness and the entropy that make the abyss what it is. It's a cleansing light. And this brings us to what is maybe the most crucial point about Hecate's tools. Her light isn't just about helping you see where you're going. It's like a spiritual force field. It lets you find and hold on to your core self, that absolute I we talked about, even when the crushing pressure of the non-I, of the void, is trying to wipe you out completely. So where does this path actually lead? It's not just about getting through the abyss and surviving. The final destination is a state of really profound integration and harmony, what the text calls a metaphorical Atlantis. The ultimate goal here is to reach what's called the fourfold Atlantis. And no, we're not talking about the lost city. This is a state of perfect balance, of equilibrium. It's all about harmonizing the four core parts of existence: the biological self, which is the sea, the physical world, which is the soil, the cosmic connection, the sun, and finally, the spirit. This quote really gets to the heart of Hecate's transformative power. Her path takes the abyss, which starts as this place of decay, basically a graveyard for the soul, and it completely flips its purpose. It becomes a sacred laboratory, a place where regeneration isn't just possible, it's the entire point of being there. But here's what's really profound. The final synthesis isn't about just picking Hecate and forgetting the Gorgons. No, true wisdom understands the Gorgon's warning. It recognizes that the world can break you. It honors that very real danger while still making the conscious choice to follow Hecate's light towards intentional, active growth. And this quote just beautifully sums up the whole resolution. The conflict isn't won by one side destroying the other. The mystery is solved through balance, when all these incredible forces, the deep sea of our unconscious mind, the solid ground of reality, and the heavens of our spirit, finally find their harmony. And so, here we are, right back where we started, at a crossroads. But now, the paths are lit up. When you face your own abyss, your own personal darkness, which path will you choose? The protective, permanent cage of stone? Or the challenging, transformative light of the torch?